Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Today I wanted to start by showing you this article about something that the Prime Minister of Malta had said. And he, for those of you that don't know, Malta has become ground zero for crypto. They call it Blockchain Island. And this prime minister and in his country, they have intentionally tried to make Malta the destination for blockchain. And it's a brilliant move because it represents a freedom that is not in existence in many areas of the country to really have some technological development in blockchain. And I mean, they're literally creating their banking system where they're going to have crypto banks, and all of these crypto exchanges are locating there, Binance and several others. It's going to be huge. But this guy came out in an article today, and he said cryptocurrency is inevitable future of money. And I wanted to read you this one quote from him. I passionately believe technology revolutionizes and improves systems. This is why in Malta we have launched ourselves as the Blockchain Island by being the first jurisdiction worldwide to regulate this new technology that previously existed in a legal vacuum. Blockchain makes cryptocurrency's inevitable future of money more transparent since it helps filter goods from bad businesses. Malta's PM told attendees. This guy is way out in front in terms of countries and regulation with cryptocurrencies, and his country has done the smartest thing they could have done. And countries like the U.S. better hurry up, or they're going to be falling way behind because of guys like this. Next, I wanted to talk to you all about Swell. They're starting to put out tweets. For those of you that don't know, Swell is Ripple's annual conference, and today and tomorrow is Swell for this year. Normally, Swell, there are some pretty big headliners. This year there's some pretty big headliners, but this year they're not broadcasting anything out of Swell. And so, but they are tweeting out pictures and different things. And so I was going to show you a couple of the tweets that I've seen so far. The first one, for those of you that don't remember, that picture is Susan Athey, and she's on Ripple's board. She's a professor at Stanford's graduate school. But if you don't remember or you didn't see it last week, I did a video where she did a paper and said that today she believes the value of XRP is somewhere between $1 and $8 and something. And she was talking about in today's dollars. She wasn't talking about a month from now. And so that's interesting. But anyway, this tweet said, this is her quote, there are many blockchain projects that are interesting, but there aren't sustainable businesses. They aren't sustainable businesses. Ripple stands out in its solution to real world problems. This is one of the projects seeing the broadest adoption. And that's her meeting with central banks at Swell. So they have all the gunpowder in the world out at Swell. This was a really cool picture. Many of you have seen Brad Garlinghouse being interviewed several times. He's made the analogy of how Ripple XRP can move money so fast in 3 to 4 seconds. And he goes, right now in 2018, we are still in a place where these banks, it would be faster if you wanted to get money from the U.S., say, to England. It would be faster for you to put $10,000 in a suitcase and get on a plane and fly to England than it would be for you to send it through the SWIFT system, the existing system, from one bank to another. And that's a very valid point. And so at Swell, they've apparently What a great idea. Every time I see something from these guys, it reminds me how genius they are. So they actually put airline seats in this display to show you how long it takes to move money right now. And I guess to illustrate how XRP and Ripple are going to change that. And then what about value? We are still living in the pre-internet age when it comes to money. It's crazy that it is faster to move money to another country on a plane. And then here's just some pictures that came out. They've got this futuristic little tunnel that everybody walks through to get there. And they took some pictures of the people. And then this final tweet, they've got a great video that I'm not going to play the video, but it's kind of playing automatically by itself. So you can kind of see as they get to the tunnel, I think you'll see Brad Garlinghouse actually coming through it. He's right there. That was pretty perfectly timed. So anyway, what a great company and a great event. And let me tell you, people, you don't have to look too hard at these pictures and video to realize these people are on their game. They have it together, and the world's about to change, and I'm glad you're a part of it. I want to finish this video by telling you a story about something that happened in my family this morning. And this, on the surface, this would not seem like a big deal. Well, it's at my son's school today are basketball tryouts. And for the last couple of weeks, I've heard my wife talking about it, and she seemed like she was a bit bugged by the fact that my son had not wanted to try out for basketball. And so I had been, to be honest, I'd been halfway paying attention. Basketball's not really our sport. We do baseball. But I had not really been paying that much attention. Part of the reason I had not is because fall has been really grueling for us, because we've had two sons playing baseball, and then one of our sons was also playing soccer, and then the other one, the middle school, was doing cross country at the same time. So I have had absolutely no time on my hands to do anything. It's been all sports all fall. So I'm very worn out from that. Well, my wife had been talking to my son about basketball and asking him why he didn't seem to want to try out for basketball. And I had heard him say that he was just tired. But this morning, for some reason, maybe I just didn't have all of my coffee yet, but I woke up this morning and I was sitting in the kitchen and we were talking about how basketball tryouts were today. And she asked him again why, if there was some reason that he didn't want to try out. And I saw on his face that I could tell that there was something he wasn't telling us. And so I asked him, I said, no, you need to go ahead and just spit it out and tell us what is it that's bothering you, because you're obviously holding something back. And he finally admitted that he didn't want to try out because he was a little bit nervous. And the backdrop to this is that I think because I've thrown so many baseballs to this kid, he's 12 years old, I think that has made him very coordinated with hand-eye coordination. Anything having to do with a ball he's very good at, because the kid can shoot better than any 12-year-old I've ever seen. And he actually holds the record at his school for the most free throws in a row. So I didn't really think about it, but until this morning, and we were sitting there talking about it, and he admitted that he didn't want to try out because he was nervous about it. And so I told him, I said, well, son, now you have to try out, because you just let me know that you were trying to not do something out of fear. And that's not something that we are going to go through our lives facing and ignoring our fears. You're going to have to confront your fears, because it'll make you a tougher person and it'll make you a better person, and you will discover things that your best friend could be on that basketball team, and you haven't even gotten to know the guy yet. There's no telling what could happen, but you're not going to not try out because of a fear of trying out. Now, if you didn't want to try out because you hate basketball, that's one thing. But you're not going to not try out because you have a fear of the tryout itself. For that reason, you're going to try out. And I told my son that there's a quote that this reminded me of. And any of you who face certain fears in doing things in your life, you ought to write this quote down, because it's a very good quote to keep in front of you anytime that you confront something that you fear. And it's a William Shakespeare quote. And it goes, "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt." And that is so telling. How many things in your life have you just not done because you were afraid? And just remember that quote. I'm going to read it one more time. "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt." Don't ever fear to attempt. So for those of you that are scared of something in particular, go out and do what you fear today. And there's one other quote worthy of hearing. This is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. "Do the thing we fear, and death of fear is certain." Well, thank you for listening. I am the digital asset investor. I am not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. I encourage you all to go to Twitter and go to Ripple's Twitter feed, because they're posting things from the Swell event throughout today. And it's going to be a pretty interesting day, and I'll probably do a video or two later today as well. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and tell your family and friends about my channel. Thank you.